You brought up uranium and how it's embedded in zircons and how that can be used for dating Earth history. There's another method that you use, which is carbon dating. So I want to touch upon the science of carbon dating as well. What is carbon dating and how do you use that for dating a rock?
Okay, well, it all goes back to the same principle, and that is that most elements have several different forms called isotopes. So carbon, 98% of all the carbon, 99% really of all the carbon on this planet has 6 protons and 6 neutrons. So it has a molecular weight or an elemental weight of 12. But about 1% has an extra neutron, so carbon-13. And parts per trillion have 2 neutrons, so it's carbon-14. And carbon-14, unlike 12 and 13, is radioactive. That is, it will decay to nitrogen. The half-life is something like 5,700 years or something like this. So what you can do is take things like wood, for example, that forms, has a certain amount of carbon-14 in it as it forms. And then once that wood gets buried, let's say in a landslide or something, the clock starts ticking. And you can then, using a mass spectrometer, you can actually determine, how much C14 there was and how much is left. And that gives you dates. And so carbon-14, because it's so-called half-life, that is the time it takes to lose half of the original amount, that's so short that it's something that's very useful on archaeological timescales. If you want to know the age of early dynastic Egypt, that's your friend. If you want to know what happened billions of years ago, uranium is your best friend. In part because there are 2 different isotopes of uranium that both break down to form different isotopes of lead, and they do it at different rates. So you essentially get 2 clocks. And that allows you to tell whether one or both of those clocks have been altered by later geologic processes. So uranium lead dating that has really been one of the major tools that has allowed us to take this relative history of the Earth and convert it into something that we can talk about in terms of years.